Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how you can make a few different fall or Thanksgiving themed cake decorations, or pie decorations, or cupcakes, or you could just eat them on their own. If you want to see more of my fall or Thanksgiving themed DIY videos, then I'll leave a link right here on the screen so you can click it and go see it. So let's get started! To make modeling chocolate pumpkins, you'll need orange modeling chocolate, brown modeling chocolate, parchment paper, and a toothpick. To make an orange batch of modeling chocolate, you'll need 6 ounces of orange candy melts and 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup. To make a batch of brown modeling chocolate, you'll need 3 ounces of chocolate chips and 1 tablespoon of light corn syrup. Melt the candy melts and then gently fold the corn syrup in. If you mix too vigorously, it'll separate, so just fold it in until it just starts to come together. Once it's mixed up and it starts to get thicker, pour it onto some parchment paper. Repeat these steps for the brown modeling chocolate. Let it sit for at least 3 hours. And then knead them. It should feel like clay. As you use them, you'll want to keep them wrapped up in saran wrap so they don't dry out. And to store it, keep it in an airtight container. At room temperature, it should last for a few weeks. To make the pumpkins, take a chunk of orange modeling chocolate and roll it into a ball. Push the middle down and then use a toothpick to create the indentations around the ball to give it that pumpkin shape. Now, take a tiny piece of brown modeling chocolate, roll it into a small cylinder, and then stick it onto the top of the pumpkin, using the toothpick to help make sure it's attached well. Repeat to make as many as you want. The decorations should be stored in an airtight container and will last a few weeks. To make royal icing pine cones, you'll need chocolate royal icing, pretzel sticks, a piping bag with a rose tip, and foam or a cardboard box with holes poked in it. To make chocolate royal icing, you'll need 4 cups of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of dark cocoa powder, 1/4 cup of meringue powder, 1 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 cup plus approximately 3 tablespoons of warm water. Mix the powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and meringue powder together in a mixer. Add the vanilla extract and 1/4 cup of the water. Gradually add the rest of the water until it's a thick molasses-like consistency. You might not need to add all of the water. Then crank your mixer up to high and let it do its thing for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's light and fluffy and can hold its shape pretty well. If it's too thin, you can gradually add powdered sugar until it's thick enough, and if it's too thick, you can just add water to thin it out. Transfer some of the royal icing into a piping bag fitted with a rose tip. With the thicker side of the tip facing down, pipe some icing around the top of the pretzel to hide the very top of the stick. Then hold the bag so the tip is perpendicular to the stick and at the base of the icing that you just piped. Pipe some out, pulling upwards to create one of the little scale things. Turn the stick slightly and pipe out another little scale. Repeat this until you're about 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch from the end. Then stick it into your foam or cardboard box to let it dry. Repeat this to make as many pine cones as you need, and let them dry overnight. Once they're dried, you can either stick them onto a cake or cupcake or whatever, or you can break off the pretzel from the bottom and just lay them on top, which is what I ended up doing. Any leftover royal icing can be stored in an airtight container at room temperature for about a week or 2. If you used a different recipe that uses egg whites instead of meringue powder, that would have to be stored in the fridge. Dried royal icing decorations last seemingly forever as long as you keep them in a dry, cool area and in an airtight container. To make the meringue acorns, you'll need chocolate meringue, extra cocoa powder for dusting, chocolate chips, crushed pretzels or finely chopped nuts, a piping bag with a medium round tip, and parchment paper or silicone baking sheets. To make the chocolate meringue, you'll need 2 large egg whites, room temperature, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. First, preheat your oven to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Line 2 cookie sheets with parchment paper or silicone baking sheets. Beat the egg whites in a clean, dry bowl at medium to high speed until they get foamy. Add the cream of tartar and whip on high until the mix forms soft peaks like this. While the mixer is running, gradually add the granulated sugar and continue beating until they're stiff and shiny, like so. In a separate bowl, mix together the powdered sugar and cocoa powder. Sprinkle about 1/3 of the mixture over the egg whites and fold it in. Repeat until all of the sugar-cocoa mixture is incorporated. Transfer the meringue into your piping bag fitted with a medium-sized round tip and pipe acorn-sized kisses onto your baking sheet. This will make a lot, so don't worry about messing a few of them up. Those will be the special ones that you get to munch on later. You gotta make sure they taste good, right? Anyway, in my experience, they look more acorny if you pipe the base a little tall and then stop squeezing before you pull up to create the tip. Dust on some cocoa powder and then pop them in the oven. Bake for about 45 minutes to an hour until they're firm and dry, and then turn off the oven and let them sit in there until completely cooled. Melt some chocolate chips. I used about 1 cup, which was way more than I needed. I probably only needed 1/4 to 1/2 cup. Take a meringue kiss, dip the base of it into the melted chocolate, and then straight into your crushed pretzels or chopped nuts. Repeat this for all of the meringue kisses. You can store these in an airtight container at room temperature and they should last about a week. And your candy decorations are done. Even though you can make these decorations a good deal ahead of time, I would recommend waiting to put them on the cake or cupcakes or whatever until the day that you'll be serving the dessert. I ended up sticking these onto a pumpkin and chocolate layer cake with chocolate buttercream and green vanilla buttercream for decoration. I'll leave a link to the cake recipes I used down below. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see more, then feel free to subscribe if you're not already. I post art videos every Tuesday and DIY videos every Thursday. You can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or Pinterest, and I'll leave the information to those down below. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below, and I'll see you next week.